Hey, welcome back for the next part of this never-ending Blazer project. I got the gauges back out here. Let me turn you around and show you what I got going on. Okay, as you saw at the end of the last video, I plugged in this gauge cluster and it came to life. It seemed to work. Problem was, I have found out that the 98 gauge clusters and the 99s and the 2000 and up are different. And they're compatible-ish. You can plug it in, it'll pretty much work. But I mean, kind of depending who you talk to and how many years difference there are, you might have a gauge or two that doesn't work or a light that's stuck on. I have no idea what year this gauge is from. The back panel doesn't even have any stickers on it or anything. However, the radiator shroud has a sticker on it that says 1998. So I assume the parts car that the previous owners pulled the engine from was a 98, because I also got like a spare sunroof and the door was replaced with a different door and it was black. So I assume they had a black 98, maybe like a 4-door Blazer that they used parts off of. So I had a fear that this might be a 98 gauge cluster, therefore not compatible. So I did some digging through the wiring diagrams, and I only have the diagrams for 2000 here. You see the airbag light, which is right here, is just connected to data lines, and B12 is not used. In 1998 gauge clusters, B12 connects directly to the airbag light, and then this goes to the, I don't know, some ABS or air. I keep confusing airbag and ABS because they both start with AB. The airbag light would connect directly to B12 and go directly to the airbag module. So when you interchange them, you might have weird issues with airbag lights. I don't really care if I have an airbag light or whatever. I mean, I'm Gen X, we die like men, but I don't want a bunch of dumb lights on. So that was B12, not used, but it is used in 98. Here is B12 on my broken cluster. I need a pointer here. Let me get out my dental pick from University of Iowa Surplus. Okay, this is B12. The trace comes up and over, down, stops. Here's my other gauge cluster. Here is B12. It comes up, over, connects, keeps going, comes down here, jumps over here, comes up here to the airbag light. So this appears to be a 1998 gauge cluster. So it is apparently not exactly of any use to me. I mean, I could put it in and it might work, but the correct way would be to fix this one and or replace it. As you can see, I have a bunch of jumpers on here right now. I had this at work and I had hooked it up to the power supply at work because it's a little bit nicer, digital controlled, so I can control how many amps go into it. But what I found is that this module is shorted because I was pulling quite a bit of current when I would put power to this module and it was getting hot as hell. So I assume this module and the 98 module are not compatible because this is probably programmed to handle the airbag light when that one is not programmed to handle the airbag light. So I can't swap these. I can't really swap these. I guess I don't need to go into it, but same reason, airbag light issues. Also, some people have said certain gaugers may or may not work. I don't remember if it was, I think it was fuel gauge. Some people said their fuel gauge stayed on E. So I'm not even gonna mess with it, but I did pull this out. I inspected it. And I did find a solder bridge down here that I think was my fault from resoldering this in my dimly lit shop with no microscope or magnification of any kind. And it was my own dumb fault for pulling it off. I should have just left it on. I found that the most common fail points are where these wires attach to these boards. So really all I had to do was desolder that, reflow that, reattach that, same thing here. I didn't need to mess with this, but I removed the solder bridge. I'm gonna try one more time putting it in. Hopefully I didn't permanently damage it, but it's a long shot. So I'll bring you back. Oh my God, you guys, it fucking works. I thought there was no way that was gonna work after I removed that solder bridge I found. I thought that I just shorted it and broke it, but apparently it survived. So I think this is battery light because I'm just on, not started. That's the security light. And the battery's only at 10 volts, but again, turn off the key. Nope, not going up. I'm gonna put the charger back on it. I'll be back. Well, look at this. It's idling. All the gauges are working. My odometer and my Prindle is working. And I have no warning lights on. The alternator is putting out 14.2.3-ish volts, which is good. I'm going to let it run and charge a little bit. I might even go up and down the street and see how it behaves when I get back. So I'd like to thank viewer Bruce, who told me the trick of turning off daytime running lights, pushing dome override 4 times. Now my daytime running lights are off. Now they're back on. So that'll help in troubleshooting, because if my lights are not coming on when I turn the key on and it's still dropping, there's really nothing else that could explain it. So I'm gonna make sure this is good and charged. I might just take it down the street or something, but we'll bring it back. And this is very promising. I'm in a running truck with no warning lights. All right, I'm back from a 10-minute trip up and down the highway. Now up to operating temperature. All the gauges are still working. My voltage has been looking good the whole time. That gauge cluster's never looked better because while I had it apart, I did clean it up. So I'm still idling, 14 volts. Daytime running lights are off. I'm gonna turn it off, see what happens. Okay, that seems pretty good. See what happens when I turn it on. I don't feel like that's right. I mean, that was just a couple seconds. We're at 10 volts now. Yeah, it won't start. I'm gonna load test the battery. Okay, so you saw it drop 10 volts when I shut it off. I haven't done anything else. I've actually got the shut off unhooked, so it's not even hooked to the car right now. I'm gonna hit the load button and see what happens. I think that's horrible. Did I get 2 bad batteries from AutoZone? So here's what I'm gonna do. Tomorrow is Sunday. It's usually the day my wife and I run errands, go shopping, and do adult stuff. Not that adult stuff. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull this battery out. I'm gonna take it to AutoZone. It's still under warranty. I know for sure this time, because it's been less than 90 days. I'm gonna say test this again, and if it tests bad, I'm just gonna get a refund, and I'm gonna buy a battery somewhere else. I know the last couple of batteries I bought were both at Napa, and I had no problems. I don't know if that's just a coincidence. I mean, I'm in the sciences, and we do not draw conclusions from a sample set of 2. But anyway, if that turns out to be the problem, it will be dumb because odds are it first started causing problems when my battery was dying. I thought, hey, the battery's new, try the alternator. The alternator didn't fix it. I was like, okay, starter, alternator, battery, all new. Must be the cables. Did the cables. So if I had a bad battery and then replaced it with another bad battery, I've been making assumptions this entire time that my battery was good. I would have put in an alternator for no reason and battery cables for no reason. I mean, no reason other than they're 25 years old. And I've had people contacting me wanting to come look at it or ask questions, and it's like, oh, can I look at it? It's like, it's torn apart and won't start right now. I guess that's it for tonight. I'm gonna clean up this mess and go to bed. Tomorrow I'll get a battery, or maybe have AutoZone tell me I'm full of crap, that battery's fine. But either way, we'll check back in tomorrow.
The following day.
Okay, battery number 3, got it hooked up, 12.5 volts. I have not hooked this up to a charger or anything, it's just right off the shelf. So I'm gonna turn to on and see what happens. Well, that looks a lot better, and my headlights are on. I turned off the headlights and I went right back up. Try to start it. No problem. As usual, charging good. No warning lights. That's so exciting. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off and try it again. No problem. It is starting just fine now. I'm gonna tell you a story about the last time I was in Oregon. Just kidding. Dead Kennedys fans, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna tell you a story about batteries from AutoZone. You've been along with me on this journey. Most of you have. But if you haven't, let me catch you up. First off, no shade to the people that work at or manage the AutoZones that I go to. Now, I'm not like loyal to AutoZone by any means. I started off like strictly Napa guy. I worked there. I was just only Napa, period, nothing else. Then when I quit working there and I didn't get an employee discount, then you realize their prices are quite a bit higher than everyone else's. And maybe they deserve that, maybe they don't. I don't know. But at the time, there was only a couple games in town, but now we have AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advance, Napa, got like CarQuests, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of places. The reason I bought my first battery at AutoZone is just because it is right by work. I was leaving work, it was January, it turned real slow when I went to start it, and I was like, I'm not even gonna go home, I'm gonna go straight to the nearest auto parts store and get a battery. So that's how I ended up there. So I got a battery. It's like, give me the best one you got. Now, back when I worked at Napa, if I remember correctly, this was in the 90s, the crappy cheap batteries had a 5-year warranty and the good ones had a 6-year warranty, I believe. And part of that was full replacement and the rest of it was prorated. So I had it in my mind still, if I get a battery from anywhere and I get the best one, it's probably got a prorated warranty for at least 5 years. Well, I learned the hard way after 3 years and what was it, 7 months or something? Got the receipt right here. January 19th, 2022. So it is about September, end of September, 2025. So yeah, 3 years, 8 months, 3 years, 7 months, it went bad. Now at this point, I had already started doing electrical troubleshooting, replacing alternators, chasing it down like, I know it's not the battery is only 3 years old. Nope, battery was shit. So I went back in there. This was the day that somebody was coming to look at this and maybe buy it. I went in there like, hey, I got this battery. What's the prorated warranty? Do I have to pay anything or do I just get a free replacement? And they're like, oh yeah, about that. You got to buy a new battery. So that's real frustrating after 3 years and 7 months of a 3-year warranty. But it's like, okay, what are you going to do? I'm not going to get the best one. The best one at the time was $201. That's with a trade-in core, not paying a core charge and tax. 201. So I was like, okay, I'll just take the cheap one because I'm planning on selling it. Worst case, I'm going to drive it through the winter. I'm going to sell it next year. Even the worst battery should last a year, right? So I walked out with their worst battery, which was the EconoCraft. That one out the door was 95 bucks. And apparently it never worked. If you go back a few videos, I put in the brand new battery while the guy was like a few blocks away to look at this car. I put it in, it wouldn't start. I put the charger on it, it started, he drove it, turned it off, it wouldn't start. I was like, oh my God, I have another problem. So that's when I'm like, okay, now I have new battery and a new battery and a starter and an alternator. What's left? Maybe the cables. So I started messing with the cables. I realized when you bend some of them, they kind of crunch. I was like, how much is a new set of cables? Less than 100 bucks for GM ones from Rock Auto. So I'll order new cables, that has to do it, right? Put the cables in, made no difference. I was like, okay, now I have a new alternator, I have a new starter, I have a new set of cables, I have 2 new batteries, and it's still not working. So at this point, I'm like losing my damn mind. Like, what could be draining a battery that quick? And you saw where I would turn the key on, that voltage would drop. Like, what do I have? Some like giant resistor hiding somewhere that's like glowing red hot, draining my battery? It didn't make any sense. Did a load test and it sure looked like that battery was shot. That new one. It was like, okay. So what I did today, I went back to AutoZone with the intention of like, test this. Tell me if it's good or bad. Because at this point, that battery is, I bought that battery on September 6th. Today is, I don't have my watch on, the end of September. It's been like 3 weeks. It has a 90-day warranty. So I was like, okay, just test this thing. It's only a few weeks old. I might be crazy. Maybe my load tester sucks. I don't know. Just give it a load test, see what happens. Immediately, bad. And they're like, yep, it's bad. We'll give you another one. I was like, hold up. I am 0 for 2 on batteries. I mean, sure, the first one lasted 3 years, but that doesn't mean I'm exactly satisfied. About the same time I bought batteries, like we just had this rash of like all the batteries on all our cars went out at the same time. I got mine at Napa for my Abarth. I got another one at Napa for our other car. Those are both still fine. The battery that came in my HHR when I bought that brand new, that lasted 11 years, I think. So getting 3 years and 6 months out of a battery, I would not exactly call a win. So it's like, if I'm gonna have to buy another battery, how about you just give me my cash back for this one under warranty? And I'm gonna take that money to like Napa and I'm gonna buy a battery there, you know, because I was like, and I didn't want to be all like Karen, you know me, I'm like super people pleaser. It's just like, no offense to you guys, but apparently I can't trust your batteries, so I would just like the money if I can, so I can go buy a battery somewhere else. Nope, we can't do that. All we can do is exchange. So at this point, it's like, okay, can I exchange up? Because this last battery I got from you started the car about 4 or 5 times with extreme effort on my part, and he said, no, they can't even really do that, but he made a phone call and he kind of finagled handled things and got it so that I was able to exchange that battery with an additional 20 bucks to get the mid-tier battery. So I now have a third AutoZone battery I'm not super excited about, but it just started the truck 4 times in a row without giving it any break. So that's the best I've seen in months. So I don't really know what to say other than like AutoZone, no hate. You're always super helpful. You do all you can. I've worked in auto parts. I know what that job's like. I know how it sucks when people come in mad about a part you sold as if you have any control over it. But I mean, I don't know if this is just the way auto parts stores are now. Like if I go to Advance, O'Reilly's, are they all gonna be like this and have short warranties? The battery's barely gonna last that long, and then they're not gonna really stand behind it? I don't know. If that's the case, I'm just gonna have to just always go to a dealership and maybe Napa, unless they've done the same thing. So, I mean, I guess this is my warning for you. I don't know what to do, but I can tell you, if you're at home and you have the luxury of deciding where you're gonna buy your battery, get on the websites, read the fine print, figure out what each place has for a warranty, and just think of it as if this survives to the end of that warranty and then fails immediately after, would I be happy? So if it has a 90-day warranty, no, you would not be happy. 3 years, that might be good enough, but I'd keep looking, and if anybody's still doing prorated warranties, that's probably the way to go. I wouldn't have minded that much if I went back the first time and exchanged my top-of-the-line battery for another top-of-the-line battery, and I only had to pay $20 or $30 for the couple of months, but that wasn't how things worked out. All right, I've been ranting for like 11 minutes now. I'm hoping I can cut this down to a few minutes and not completely bore you, because this is a car channel, not a be a Karen and bitch about businesses channel. So, but I still got to put my dashboard back together, all that stuff. So we will see you then. All right, well, it's been a few days. I drove this to work all week and it's working perfect. It's been pretty awesome having no lights on the dash and everything just works. I've also decided to take down the ad selling it. At this point, I'm just gonna drive it for the winter. There's no sense trying to scramble to buy a new car the next couple of months. It's weird to talk about winter here. It's now October and still in the 90s, but one of these days we're gonna wake up and it's just gonna be snowing, and then winter's gonna be here and we're gonna completely skip fall again. So I'm gonna wrap this one up here. Finally, we're ending on a high note. Everything's working. So we'll see what kind of horrible things happen before the next video comes out, but it's just a truck and it's just getting me around. It's an incredible theory, isn't it? Just having a car that works. All right, well, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care. So this is my new friend. He's living on the Blazer, or she. I love spiders. This one's particularly beautiful. I know some of you might be arachnophobic, but like, you should just let spiders get married.